Good morning. I'm going to format things a little bit differently today because I'm not entirely sure how to do this for those of you that I don't physically see in class today. So we've spent all this time talking about checking accounts and checkbook registers, and one of the things that we've got to deal with now is what's called a bank statement. At the end of every month, your bank, if you have a checking account, and sometimes a savings account, it just depends on the bank, will send you a report that lists absolutely all of the activity that happened in your account for that month. Every deposit, every check, every withdrawal, every service charge, every penny that comes in and out of that account, you'll get a written record of it. If you have that option at your bank, I have elected to receive electronic statements through mine, so I don't actually get a paper copy. I used to when I was younger, and as I got older and there's a little bit more activity in my account, it just got to be tons and tons and tons of paper. So the nice thing about a bank statement is, like I said, it lists absolutely everything. Every check, every deposit, every withdrawal, every automatic transaction, everything. The downside of that is that it can get to be a little bit cumbersome sometimes, especially if you don't keep good records on your end. When you get this back from the bank and you're trying to, compare your books and their books, it just gets to be overwhelming. So the idea is, so we're actually getting ready to start November. Or as you're watching this, it's November 2nd, so the month has already started. So I'll be getting a statement soon from my bank in my email that it closes out the month of October, and it lists everything from October, and then it starts the new month. So at the end of October, I have my previous balance from October listed on there. I'm sorry, September listed on there, and then all of the transactions that happened in October, and then I have the ending balance at the end of October. Okay, I'll say that one more time in case it didn't quite, if I said a little fast. We are starting November, so I will be getting my October statement. At the end of October, right? So I'll have a new balance at the end of October. That will include my starting October balance, and then list every transaction: deposit, withdrawal, service charges if your bank charges you a fee for ATMs, or some banks charge every time you write a check if you have like the most basic account, and then if your bank pays you interest. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to give you, say, the starting October balance, a list of deposits, a list of withdrawals, any sort of fees that you incur from your bank, and any interest that you may have earned. And then we're going to do the arithmetic to figure out the new balance at the end of the month. Okay. So this is, without giving you an actual paper copy to look at, this is a kind of a generic dummy bank statement here for Margaret. She's popped up a couple of times here. Okay, over here is just kind of a snapshot summary. If you'll notice, this was March 1st. Here's her beginning balance, and then the total of her deposits, the total of her withdrawals, no service charge listed, no interest earned, and then the beginning of April balance. All right, so you've got the beginning of March, the beginning of March and the beginning of April, and then what this statement lists is everything in between. Now, my statement, because every time I swipe my card for gas at Casey's, everything is listed on there. So this is obviously kind of a snapshot. It's a lot smaller statement, just to kind of give you an idea. This section here lists all of her checks, right? So she wrote 3 checks. This section here listed all of her deposits or credits to her account. This section here lists all of the payments or money coming out of her account. And then down here at the bottom, my bank doesn't do this, but I suppose it's commonplace enough that this is on there. They do a daily balance. So like every time she wrote a check or every time there was a deposit, they update her balance on this statement. That doesn't seem to be really useful to me because you don't get this statement until the end of the month anyway. All right, so overall, big picture, what we're going to be doing here, we've got a person's beginning balance in the account. We've got some deposits to add, some withdrawals to subtract, a service charge to subtract, and interest to add on. You're going to calculate that new balance after all of those deposits, withdrawals, and whatnot. So for this first one, calculate that dollar amount here. For the second one, calculate that dollar amount here.